Yo, what up, guys? I'm gonna start making a little step-by-step video, and maybe not step-by-step, but a little video on me doing these LED lights. These are the digitalis LED lights. Digitalis, it sounds like a stupid kids TV show, but trust me, this is way cooler than a kids TV show. So I'm gonna get started on this. They got really nice instructions, step-by-step, everything you need to know. I mean, if you guys are doing what I'm doing, then I feel like you're probably smart enough to figure this out. So honestly, the only thing I really need is this. It comes with a really nice wiring diagram on how to hook these up. Comes with really nice equipment too. Get this open. Here's all the taillights. Here's all the wiring. If anybody knows, I can't figure out this yet, the flasher. It doesn't say anywhere in the instructions where this needs to go if it needs to get used. So I don't know about that. So if anybody's familiar with this stuff and can tell me, that'd be really nice. So it comes with real nice equipment, all the hardware, the grommets for the taillights. These go for the lenses, and then all the harnesses for all the LEDs. Very nice kit. I'm definitely going to say it was worth the damn near 300 bucks that I spent on this damn thing. But I got to tell you, I'm very happy with it. Anyway. Alright. First thing I did was, you see this? Got my tail light taken apart. This is kind of difficult. So here's the trim. Oops. Here's the trim ring. The trim here. There's only a few screws. There's what, 3 on the top, 2 on each side on the bottom, and then 2 on the bottom here. This was difficult to get off. I will tell y'all that if you're gonna do this, be really careful. The best way I figured it out was to pry the inside off first, so the flat part. See how this angles out? This one's flat. I got this piece right here. I got this worked off the tail light, so I just kind of pulled on it a little bit, you know, and kind of started working it around. Got my flathead in here and pushed it around. Once you get this bezel, these little pieces on the bezel around the lens, it'll just pop right off after that. So just be really careful when y'all do that, because as y'all know, this is old brittle shit. As my tail light just fell on the floor. But anyway, this also is a little tricky. This thing, sorry y'all. This thing has just a couple screws and a couple clips. Let me grab one of the clips real quick. A couple clips like this. They just kind of clip on here, like so. You just pop them off with a flathead. Take out the couple screws on the top. There's like 3 clips on this, so make sure you check this real good. Make sure there ain't nothing holding it. It's very difficult to peel off because it's got adhesive on there. See that stringy shit right there? It's really difficult to peel off, so just carefully work your flathead around it and it'll eventually start to separate. Don't pry too hard because, as I said, this shit is very brittle. So once you get all that taken apart, boom, there you go. So I was kind of jumping around on this. I just wanted to take the taillight apart to kind of check it out. I may take a little more time on this, and actually, because here's where the LEDs go on this side and this side. I'm going to replace all the other bulbs that are left, the marker light, the center marker, and the reverse, with LED bulbs as well. So I might actually come in here and paint this so it's a little better of a reflective surface. I'm not too worried about these buckets because the LED bulbs actually screw to the lens. So the LEDs are going to be, boom, right here in front of the lens. So you don't need to really worry about the reflective surface inside these cups. So there we go. We got that. Just take your time. Be careful with these lights, because if y'all are like me, good luck fucking finding one. Anyway, let me get this out of the way. I do need one. I need passenger side because my reverse light's cracked. I guess all I need to do is find a reverse light. Anyway, so I already got the cover taken off the harness here and kind of got it cleaned up a bit. I started doing all this because I cleaned up my headlight harness the other day and recovered it with new plastic wire loom. So I cleaned up the wires. You know, I just took a rag and sprayed a little cleaner on it and just started rubbing the wires out, you know, get them cleaned up. I still haven't done all of it, but you know, this part's nice and clean already. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one short. I just wanted to show y'all. Just go ahead, you want to get it all uncovered so you see what you're working at. Just take your time, man. Read the instructions. Look at this diagram. Me, since my brain runs 100 miles a minute sometimes, I kind of been writing down notes back here. You know, running step by step through my head on what I need to do and just writing on paper. That seems to help me kind of ease my mind and look at things a little easier. So, all right, I'm gonna get this thing started, and I'll cut the video on again. Like I said, I don't know if I said this, but this may be a string of, you know, a few days, maybe a week, maybe a couple weeks, you know. So I'll just post this video whenever I get all this finished. All right, guys, this is the second part of my little video. I kind of got a little gung-ho. I kind of forgot I was supposed to be doing this. But anyway, so I isolated the sides, the opposite sides of the harness, of the car harness. So basically, the yellow wire runs the driver's side, the green runs the passenger side. Each wire has to run to each LED circuit board. So the first thing I did was I cut the yellow once again, which is the driver's side, and then I cut the green, which is the passenger side. I went ahead and I couldn't figure out a better way to do this, so I just went ahead and twisted them all together. You know, twisted all the yellow wires together and soldered it. So this is all soldered. This is heat shrink. Otherwise, you know, they want you to use those stupid whatever, those caps. So in my opinion, this would be better because at least it's soldered that way. So the green and the yellow wires are all soldered now. So now I'm just kind of going light by light. So here's one of the connectors, and I got a little gung-ho. I didn't realize, I thought that all of these harnesses would be the same length, but they are not. There's two really long ones and there's two shorter ones, and I cut one of the long ones. So word of advice, do not cut these. That's the wire I cut, so I lost about a foot. But it's all good. I can make it work. But word to the wiser, don't cut it. At least, I didn't want to open all my damn harnesses. That's why I didn't cut them. So anyway, so now I'm just kind of isolating each light. So here is the outside driver's side light. It's already, the blue and the green and yellow are already soldered, as I showed you. And then you come in here, I came in and I soldered my brown and ground. So this is the brown and these are the grounds. Now, when you take apart your light harness, you'll notice that everything, how am I wanting to explain this? So one brown wire comes out from the car, and then from the factory they solder in like a little connector, and then it just explodes. There's like, you know, a shit ton of brown wires that run all over the place. There's five on each side, so there's 10 brown wires, and they all stem from this one. And then same with the ground, there's 10 grounds. So they come in and then they come to a junction right here, I think, and then they just spread out from there. So all I'm doing is I'm keeping the individual grounds and brown wires that ran to each light that you need to use. That way I'm not running a shit ton of wires all over the place. So these two wires actually hooked up to the original taillight socket. So I just kept those ran to where they needed to go, and then I cut these wires short and then soldered them together. So aside from the main power, this is done. That one's soldered up. I was just getting ready to solder these two together. I got these stripped and I got these stripped, and then I realized I wasn't making videos. So there we go. There's step number 2. Running through each individual wire harness and soldering it together. I shall cut another video up when I get all of these harnesses soldered, and then I will show you the orange wire hookup. So, yo, quick little blip in here. I said I ended up cutting this one too short. Well, I just went ahead and soldered in the wires. So my screw up got fixed because I was just afraid it wasn't too long. So I got it all soldered back in there. Now it's nice and long. I just want to throw that back in there. Got everything all cleaned up on this side. So here's the 2 for the driver's side. Sorry if that radio is too fucking loud, but that's what's going on right now. I'll cut you back on when I got shit worked out. All right, y'all, cutting you back on real quick. All right, so this is all finished now. Well, not 100%. I mean, I got everything's all wired up now. So here's focus here. So we got the passenger side ones done. They're wired in. Once again, I did the same thing over here. So you got a brown and a ground that runs from there's like a junction in here. So your brown and your ground run over here for the marker lights, which, you know, the brake lights also had the marker light situation, you know, like tail lights basically. So I just left those wires, ran over here, and then tapped in there. So the only wires that I have running from the passenger side all the way over are the yellow and green. So they're just linked in right here, and then those run all the way back. So driver's side, yes, they are. I wish I would have trimmed these down a little more, but we'll figure that out. And then the passenger side, it's all wired in. These are the reverse lights, and then you got your 2 marker lights right here and here. Those are the 2 marker lights. The one's on the outside, and then you have one here in the center, and the reverse, and then obviously your 2 brake lights. So that's all wired in. You don't get any mess. I mean, I only cut wires that I had to. Basically, there's only 4 wires hooked up to this whole thing. The green, the yellow, the brown, and the black, which is the ground. The brown is the marker lights. The green is the yellow is the driver's side brake lights, and the green is the passenger side brake lights. So, with that being said, the last wire that needs to be hooked up is the switched power source, or the main power. It has to be, shouldn't say switched, because the instructions say wire it to something that gets a constant power but is fused, and it recommends you wire it to the dome light circuit. So what I did was, here's the trunk light. If y'all don't know what this is, it has a constant power, but it's got like a mercury switch in there. So when it's bolted up and the trunk opens, you know, like when the trunk pops open, the switch allows the circuit to complete and allows power to flow. So this has a constant power, and it has the mercury switch which grounds it out. I'll show you what I mean. So turn on the power. So say this was hooked up, and as the trunk opens, see, I mean, you know, it's kind of shoddy right now, but that's just because it's not hooked up right. So as the release would open, it would ground itself out and complete the circuit. So I can't, that's not a good demonstration. It works right, it's just hard to demonstrate like that. So what I did was, it's got this pain in the ass fucking plastic sleeve. So I pulled this whole connector off, and once you, let me try to do this real quick. So I pulled off the light switch, and inside here there's little pins. So if you just kind of stick, see on the bottom, this would be the top. I consider this the top because it clips on right there. And on the bottom right here, see this little nub right here? If you put like a little, I just have these little picks like this. So if you slide that pick right in there and, you know, gently press this out, and then if you go in the top side right here where it's got this groove, there's another pin in there. So you put the pick through there, flatten out that pin, you pry that up, and this whole plastic connector comes off this wire. And then you're just left with the deal. I don't even know why the hell I just explained that to you, because I didn't even end up doing it that way. But anyway, you can do that with all these factory wires, all these factory clips like that. There's usually little pins in there that you can take off the covering. But anyway, what I ended up doing was, I traced this plastic covering, and it goes all the way back here. And then there's like a little clip. You can't even really see in there. Yeah, that little clip right there. You pull that out, and then it allows you to shove that wire all the way back out. So I ended up pulling this whole thing out of this whole loom, this whole orange wire, because it runs all the way up there. I had it all laying out here. I shoved the plastic covering all the way up, just all the way up to here. And then, let me see if I can, I clipped it back in. But anyway, long story short, I ended up cutting the main power wire, so the orange wire to that light, I cut it. This is the power wire to the tail lights. So I spliced it in with the main feed, and then I soldered it all back together solid, and, you know, heat shrunk it. So that's what that white piece is right there. The white cover with that yellow clip. That's the piece. It all got twisted together and soldered, and then you can see it there at the top. Let's see if I can't get my finger in there. Whatever. You can see, you know, the plastic covering there on the right side, where the right of the white stuff. So that's where the plastic covering is, and then where the zip tie is, the yellow zip tie. That's where I have everything soldered. It's all soldered and heat shrunk right there. So that's what I did there. And then, like I said, I'm running the power wire back through here, and it's gonna come, I'll even show you. Give me a second. This is gonna be a long ass video, guys, and I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to help y'all out. So like I said, I drilled a hole through the grommet. See if we can't do this one-handed. It's a little difficult. There we go. So there we go. See, I drilled that hole through the grommet. So now this power wire can feed through the grommet, and then I'll trim it down as short as it needs to go. But I'll hook it all up to, just like I said, these last 4 wires, which are just the power wires. And then it's done. Then this whole circuit is done. So I'm gonna cut you back on after I get done doing that, and I'll I don't know, I might try to hook this up today. I still have to mount the circuit boards in the tail lights, so that might be a whole, I might not finish this video today, but I'm gonna keep it rolling. So I'm gonna make this video all the way until I finish this. All right, y'all. All right, guys, another little update here with these lights. So I'm getting the last tail light lens together. As you can see, I got the one put in already. It comes with mounting hardware, and I don't know. I'm always looking more towards longevity, I suppose, when it comes to this kind of stuff. And it comes with plastic screws and plastic nuts. And I mean, I'm no expert when it comes to circuit board stuff. Maybe that's because they don't want it to interfere with electronics, but I honestly, I don't know. I mean, if I'm wrong in this, somebody tell me, and then I'll use the right equipment. But I went ahead and bought some stainless hardware. So I bought stainless hardware, and then up here I got a lock nut, nylon lock nuts, you know, because a lot of vibration going on back here, and I just hate to see these start working loose. And then I got a washer in there, and then on this side I even went as far as putting a rubber washer, because I figured that way it's sealed from the elements. Because you're gonna want to focus. They, from the factory, they're sealed right here. They have like a sealant into the tail light in that little groove right there. So I cleaned all that out, and then I'm gonna run some nice new black silicone in there. So technically, these should be very sealed from the elements, because the wiring harnesses come with these little grommets that you stuff in here. And then obviously these have the little ones that screw in. So these should really be sealed very well from the elements this way. This does clear. This lens, or the trim piece, has plenty of space right here, so these bolts clear. But yeah, that's my little update. All you do is, it comes with these little stencils. Well, you see what this says, but so it comes in these little stencils. You cut them out, and then you place them as it directed towards the edge. There's like a little lip right here on the lens, and then all you really do is you just screw it in. I think these are inner edge. There we go. Alright, wrong side. So you put it out towards the edge, mark your spot, and then drill the holes. Sorry for the wild camera angle there. Drill the holes. So these are all drilled. I'm gonna go ahead and get this other board in. Got this other board to put in, and then we're gonna get some stuff done here. Yep. Is that just brake lights?
No, that's just the lights.
That's just the lights, Jesus. Hit the brakes. Don't push them to the floor or anything, you just gotta hit them. Alright, do the turn signals. Right. Nice. Hit the brakes again.